lost all control. Gravity is all that I know. She's over me. She's over me. She comes with her hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Saturday edition of the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us right here from the heartbeat of the Paranormal Portal, the Paranormal Portal Studios. And I, of course, am not alone here. I've got my good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard, here with me.
Would that be me? Hey.
Yeah, is this thing live?
It is.
Oh, there I am.
It actually helps if you put it somewhere near your mouth.
Near my mouth.
Much better.
This actually does sound better.
It does, doesn't it?
I should talk like a sexy beast every day.
Yeah. Well, how you been? Other than your sexy voice, how you been?
Good. What, today's Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday night's a good night for fighting. Never mind. But yeah, good. It's yeah, it was an okay week.
Good.
Yeah. Hi,
Okay.
how is everybody?
I think they're good. They told me they were anyway. Psychically, they sent that.
Psychically.
They sent that to me psychically.
I'm posting psychically today, so if you think of
That's
something
right. We are
funny,
broadcasting psychically. Everybody, close your eyes. Good one. No, I'm just kidding. Good one, Don. That was great. All right. So that was our psychic broadcast for the night.
Oh, wow.
So welcome to the show, everybody. Of course, during the show, the phone lines will always be open. It's area code 720-923-0500. Again, 720-923-0500. So it is always available. What's funny now?
Nessie changed her name.
Oh, really?
That's Naughty Nessie
Naughty
Monster.
Nessie Monster. That kind of fits her.
I thought so too.
She's always skating on that thin ice.
Oh, that's funny.
But welcome, everybody, and thanks to everybody that's here. And I see there's a few of you over in TFR. We've got Bam. Don, you're over there. I'm over there.
Yes, yeah.
Don Quixote's over there.
Hey.
Good to see you, brother. And Gleeful Chatter's over there. So great to see you guys. Thanks for stopping in. Just a few of you over there. Are you guys hearing me over there okay? I just want to double check because we had updates. Bam, if you can hear me.
Sounds good to me.
What was that?
I turned the speaker off so I
Oh,
could hear
okay.
it.
Oh, good. I was like, what is that? Okay, good. So that's from the TFR feed? Or
Yeah,
YouTube?
that was TFR.
Oh,
yeah.
wonderful. Okay. So I know we can hear you. All right, perfectly. And I assume you guys over on YouTube can hear us.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they can.
But anyway, hope you guys are doing great. This is our Saturday night show, so it's 2 hours of paranormal fun just waiting for you here. And what more could you want?
Hi, Regla.
Regla came in?
Yeah, Regla's here.
Whatever, forget about it. Great to see you. Great to see you, Regla. And who is over there, Don?
Oh, who's over in YouTube land? Wow,
Yeah.
let's find out. Well, the people who are chatting that I can see is 5, Hazel. There's Aussie Tiger. Bella, how are you? Big Rob's here. Bomber, of course. Bomber's number 2 of the naughty Nessie crew.
Naughty Nessie gang.
Yeah, exactly. Chris and Angela just popped in. Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. Brian's here. Brian Gaska, how the heck are you? Contraband's here. Crimson. Deb Varner's here. Dub 45. Elaine, Isaac, Justin, Lindsay. There's Ms. Naughty Nessie. 999 Plus, Overbuilt Automotive. Mr. Paranormal Portal himself, Brent Thomas. We have that awesome musician from Down Under, Mr. Peter Turk.
All right, Peter.
And Rachel gets it right. As I said, regular girls here. Ruger Ridge, Tinker, Tighten Up. Tighten Up was in Paisley's show last night, so new name here.
And was over at Dark Waters channel just a minute ago.
Absolutely.
I was over there and said hello to everybody.
Yep. And Toolman Tim and Tracy's here.
Toolman Tim, I love it.
Bell Prepper just popped in.
Thank you, Tracy. That's awesome. She said, love this show. Very
That's
cool.
awesome, yes.
It's nice to be loved because, we work hard at being lovable.
I don't know. Oh, Paisley popped in. How are you doing, Paisley? Hey, are you trying to upload that video by any chance? Or are you just going to play it live tonight? Whatever. Anyhow, so yeah, there you go. Excellent.
Well, it's a fine crowd, and I'm sure more will come in as the show goes on. It always seems to develop over the 2 hours.
It does, yeah.
It's like this, I don't know if people are stumbling on it or how that works, but I'm glad that I've heard that people got notifications today. At least one person said, "Hey, I got a notification." I think that was Dub 45, and that was good. But if you're not getting notifications, check the bell if you're on YouTube. I don't know why sometimes those don't work, and some people are finding that that's getting unclicked somehow. So check it every once in a while. So. That would be cool. But if you are listening on TFR iHeart, tune in and TalkStream Live.
We still apologize.
We're always apologetic wherever you're listening to us. But you can check us out. If you want to see the live feed of the show, you're welcome to come over to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Paranormal Portal. And the show is streaming live there as we are broadcasting on TFR Live. So, both places are wonderful. So lots of places to find us. We also have a podcast, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the portal and you're not familiar with it. We just had our an amazing month of January, our best month yet. So
awesome.
It's growing and growing. And it's
all because of you, sweet people.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is.
Because you are awesome.
They are. You guys are awesome. And thank you to all of you who have been checking it out. That's really cool. I appreciate it. Let's see. I got some things right off the bat that we want to cover. Tonight's just going to be, some things. I want to kind of focus on cryptids again because I think that, it's a subject that I think a lot of people are passionate. In fact, when I look at the numbers for our shows, the ones about Bigfoot, Dogman, cryptids always are doing so much better than all the others. And I guess there's more of a cryptid crowd here, and that's fine. I mean, I love talking about cryptids as well as everything else. To me, it's fascinating to think that there are a lot of things out there. And tonight's show doesn't have to be just that. I mean, if you want to call in and tell us about a ghost experience or ghost story of your very own, love to hear from you. But we have to do cryptid shows because I think those to me are really, really amazing. I mean, every culture in the world recognizes ghosts. I mean, even skeptics at least acknowledge that in a lot of cases that there's weird things that go on that they can't quite say what's going on. So I think that of all the phenomena, hauntings are the most typical. They happen all over the place, anywhere, at any time. And, the number of people that I think experience ghostly phenomena, I think is pretty high. Even though most people, there's several people that won't admit that that's what they experience, but I think that they are. Whereas cryptids are much more rare, and, there's much lower percentage of people that will actually experience a cryptid encounter. But I think it's nonetheless, it's incredibly compelling to think of what could be out there. Mm-hmm. What could be out there, and what does it mean? What do they want? What are they doing? How does that change things for us? And I don't know if it changes anything. I think that once you become aware of cryptids, it changes a lot, I suppose.
Right.
Because you can never go out with that same innocence into those wild places.
No kidding.
You can never have that again. Once you acknowledge that there's creatures and beings out there in the wild places, it changes the wild completely.
And sometimes it's just even thinking about the possibility it could be there. Like when I told the story about me out shoveling snow the other day at like midnight, I'm like, and I was thinking about down the road where that guy was talking about his chickens and his fence, and I'm like, what if that's a Bigfoot and I'm out here at like,
what if?
On a dark, wooded, street or road, and I'm like,
Missing
they could be.
411.
They missing long beards. Well, I think the dwarves will probably come get you before the Bigfoot. Hey, it's our big cousin Dunn.
Big dong long beard.
So
he's my cousin 4,000 times removed.
Yeah, exactly. You're part of that family tree, I'm pretty sure.
And dwarves are pretty tight.
They are, apparently they are. They're earth creatures, but I just think that they're anywhere. These cryptids are anywhere. And you're right. When you go out, you think they might be there, and I think that that's a pretty safe bet. I don't know how prolifically these things are filtered around our wild places. Sometimes I think that they're absolutely everywhere, and other times I think, well, they're probably pretty rare, but they're out there. And I don't know what the right answer is, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, because we're not real good at seeing them. They're pretty good at not being seen. And so it's hard to tell if they're there or not, unless you're finding, tons of either tracks or broken trees or, things that we've come to regard as signs of the presence of these beings.
Right.
But I mean, how many are out there? Well, hell, who knows? and it always surprises me that people come out with these arbitrary numbers. Well, there could be up to 8,000 of them out there. And it's like, well, that's not very many.
Who was that? The Paul Hellyer of the crypto world?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I mean 8,000 total number of Bigfoot.
Right.
It's like the numbers, and it's like, how could you know that?
Well,
how could you come to that distinction, especially as widespread as the sightings are and stuff? And then there's other people. Well, there could be up to 100,000. There's, I think there's more than that. I really do, and I think that there's a strong possibility that they're genetically similar enough to us that they probably could very well have been affected by some of the pandemics that affected our ancestors, such as the smallpox epidemics and the influenzas and stuff like that. Perhaps, those kind of things decimate their populations in the past as well.
Right, yeah.
And of course, the arrival of Europeans to the North American continent really decimated a lot of native populations just because we were here.
Right.
And so I imagine that there's a strong possibility that it may have really affected these cryptid beings too, that are, pretty, they at least have some genetic similarity with us, which, I mean, considering if you own a pet monkey, you have to be worried about giving your monkey a cold.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, they can catch colds, and that's a monkey. So, which is genetically similar to us to it, and enough of a point that you need to be aware of the fact that they can give or get our illnesses in a lot of cases. And so, I think that perhaps their populations were, affected by that, and that's maybe why it's been a long time since they maybe were much more widespread and could very well be rebounding.
Duke says, very likely. I've done shows on Sasquatch epidemic theory, both here and in Europe.
Very cool.
Cade's here. Psycho
Cade's
Ghost
here.
Tracker. How are you?
Oh, cool. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming in. But I think that these are really valid considerations when you're thinking about cryptids. How many are out there? Well, hell, who knows? But I think as prolific as sightings are becoming, and granted, you have to take some of those with a grain of salt, because some people just want to have their name on the list.
Right.
But I think that there's enough really credible sightings out there to pretty concretely demonstrate that this is not local phenomena by any sense. It's a global phenomena that these cryptids are. And by cryptids, I am bulking it all together. I'm bulking in perhaps little people, perhaps things like ghouls and quote unquote rakes. And again, I'm going to say this again because people, the rake is, that was just made up. Well, it might be a new term, but it's not a new phenomena.
Right.
This is an old phenomena that was referred to as ghouls or other similar type of beings. And the fact that cryptid or rake may be used to describe these old phenomena doesn't make it a fabrication.
Right.
So, don't get caught up in the semantics like that because
Tomato.
yeah, exactly. So, as well as Dogman, as well as any number of other cryptids. So, it is a global phenomenon. These things are out there. Perhaps there may be some that are largely subterranean. There's enough evidence of these absolutely vast cave subterranean systems, extinct lava tubes that have been formed in the formation of these continents, that there is truly enough subterranean space to house, entire cities. Yeah, I mean, there really is. There's these vast caverns all over the place.
And those are the ones that weren't dug by humans.
Right, yeah, exactly.
They're called dumbs for a reason.
Oh, well, there's those too. I mean, the deep underground military bases, of course, but that's not so much the cryptid stuff.
No.
I'm talking about like natural formations
Right.
that could have been the place where a lot of these things live. Crystal caverns, non-crystalline caverns, sure. Stalactites, stalagmites, and lions, bears, and oh my.
This is not a valid menu option.
Well, what if it was? What would we get?
Who put you in charge?
Oh, gosh. You're not my boss.
Yeah, apparently. I don't know what that voice is, but we do have a call, so let's get to this. And the call is our very own Deb.
Hi, Deb.
Hi!
Holy macaroni.
Hey.
Hi. That was a lot of enthusiasm right in my ear.
We love you.
How you doing?
I'm excited.
Oh, cool. I'm excited too because before the show you alluded to something really cool that you wanted to call in with, and I've been waiting with bated breath to hear what this is. So take us on the journey, Deb.
Yeah, well, I figured as much as I like, Bigfoot and cryptids, I figured we would jump into spirits before we hit the other good stuff.
Absolutely.
I found out a few months ago that Bella from the chat room lives a little over an hour away from me. So we made plans to meet. Well, today we decided to meet for lunch.
Nice.
That went cool. We were talking, having fun. There is a Confederate museum there where she lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about going and seeing that. Tyler went with me.
Okay.
So, I mean, we were having a big time. At first, we went the wrong way, and we found a replica of one of the old ironclads. It was the Noose.
Right.
We went in there and was looking around. It was way cool. Took pictures and stuff. And in the process, we were all talking about Curry Beach, which there is a Fort Fisher there. It was, as we were told when we went down there, the last stronghold of the Civil War. It's an underground fort. Well, we finished looking around and taking pictures at the ironclad, and we came on out. Well, we eventually found the other museum. There they have what is left of the original Noose ironclad.
Nice.
And we looked around there. That's downstairs when you first go in. Then they have a mezzanine. So we took the elevator up to go and look. Well, Bella and I did. Tyler went up the steps. He was already up there looking around by the time we went to go up there. Okay, this is where the fun begins. There was a front and a back door to the elevator that we were taking up. And we were standing there waiting for the door that we went into to open up. Slowly behind us, the other door opened up.
Oops.
We turned around to look to see what was going on, and it looked like offices. And, I mean, the conversation was, I don't think we're supposed to be here. And something told me to go check it out. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we went looking, and all of a sudden I connected with something and was drawn down the hall.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got there, I mean, the energy was out of this world.
Wow.
I called Bella over, and she even got to experience it. So I said, is there something we're supposed to be seeing or something that you want us to see, want us to know about? And we got to looking around, and right there, basically in front of us, was a map of Fort Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming the powers that be were in on our conversation, and they led us to the spirit and the map of Fort Fisher.
Wow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We went on back to the elevator, and of course we were trying to get back on the other side. Doors closed. The other door didn't open. We're standing there on the elevator with both of the doors closed, wondering, well, oh my God, are we stuck in here? What is going on?
Yeah.
Okay, we finally got the door to the front side open, and Tyler was standing there. He said he could hear our conversation, and Bella and I were both like, you would not believe. I told Tyler, I said, I'll tell you later. He said, no, tell me now. I want to know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
So we basically told him what happened. He said, well, I want to see. So here we go, getting back on this weird elevator. And finally got the back doors open up to where we had been. And we walked down, all of us to where we were at before. You could still feel a little of the residual energy standing around the area. But Tyler took off for the other end. He said it's at that end.
Mm-hmm.
He goes down to that end, and a few seconds later, Bella and I follow him down. There is a wall of mirrors. He's like, he said, I didn't know this was here. And he's standing there looking at it, and I kind of looked around the corner at his reflection and at him, and I knew something was up, so I stepped back. So it was just him there in his reflection. We stood there a little bit. Next thing you know, his reflection starts changing.
Ooh. Wow.
All I can is the male spirit, and it was a male spirit that we had picked up in the other end. That's who Tyler picked up. And, of course, it was starting to manifest itself in that mirror. Of course, I do the mirror scrying anyway, so, I basically knew what was going on.
Right.
Well, I think it kind of Tyler out a little bit. He's like, no, I'm not doing this. So we all left out, and then we finished looking at stuff. And Tyler called me over. That he said there was an exhibit that, kind of bothered him. And we went around, and what it was the morning clothes, like the women, they dressed all in black,
Sure.
When they lost someone in the family.
Right.
And I was standing there looking at it, and I reached around to the side and held my hand over there, and you could feel an energy coming off of that, too.
Oh, wow.
So we finished looking real quick, and all of a sudden, the lights go out.
Nice.
Wow.
All over it, go out.
Oh, my
And,
God.
we were like, oh, God, they're going to close us in here. And next thing you know, you hear somebody hollering from downstairs, it's okay, they'll be back on shortly. A guy from downstairs, once they came on, he's like, well, they're set automatically. He said, we tried to fix the problem. We can't figure out what the problem is. He says, it does this on Saturdays.
Oh, wow.
Lo and behold, of course, and we were there. And all three of us are upstairs looking at each other. We know why it's doing that.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah, we finished looking around and left out. And, we had a total blast. The experience and everything was just wonderful. And we're standing around talking about, oh, wow, we've got to do this again. Bella was just ecstatic that she actually got to experience being able to pick up the energy from the spirit that was there.
Oh, that is cool.
But it was Yeah, it was really awesome.
Do you think?
And I was just like, oh.
Do you
And Bella's like, you are calling in, aren't you? You are calling in.
Do you think you're supposed to go to that fort?
I don't know. Now, I haven't been there for years. We had gone to the fort when my kids were teenagers.
That's what's coming to
and
me.
we haven't been back since.
Yeah.
But the fact that what we were going to see today was Confederate, that brought up the conversation. But it was so weird, and I mean, Bella even, she's like, we were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go over to the other museum, and lo and behold, we're led to the map of Fort Fisher.
Right.
So
that's what I'm thinking.
yeah,
You must be supposed to go there.
I'm wondering.
Yeah.
So that may be on the calendar to run back and see what's going on.
Yeah.
I had wanted to go in when we were there, but they wouldn't let us. They were afraid that it being underground, that something might, fall on us.
Right.
But that was the least of my worries. I just wanted to go see what was going on there. So
That's amazing.
yeah, I have.
That's really amazing.
I have put that on the calendar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Deb, you said you had been there early when you were younger. Is that right?
I had been to Fort Fisher
Uh-huh.
when my kids were teenagers.
Did you notice anything back then?
I felt like I needed to go on the inside, but like I said, they wouldn't let us go in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Huh.
Well, do you want to hold and we'll come back to you on the other side?
Is it that time already?
It is. We're coming up on the first break.
If you still want to talk about it, that's like
Yeah, I got a few more
pretty
questions.
much the story. I mean, if you still have questions, yeah.
Right. I just got a couple more things I'd like to touch base with you, but we're going to go to our first break, ladies and gentlemen, so don't go away.
We'll be right
We'll
back.
be right
and
back.
Brian Gaska's the man.
Brian Gaska, thank you much, brother. We love you. You're our hero. All right, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody. We are into half hour number 2, and we are currently involved in a conversation with our very own Deb Varner, who, after touring a museum, found that they had some incredibly supernatural activity happening. And Deb, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so before the break, you mentioned about this wall of mirrors, and I got to ask you two things. Now, do you think do you agree that mirrors can act as portals and can be gateways of a sort for spirits?
Yes.
Okay, and do you think that? And this is kind of spitballing. I don't really know if there's any way to know for sure. But do you think that it's possible that spirit actually came from that fort? That was why it was there to lead you to come there? Because that's what's coming to me. I mean, does that rationale make sense?
Yeah, that Bella and I were talking about that, and yeah, I'm kind of wondering if maybe something there. I don't know if it was the fact that the map was there or what. That that was the reason he was there, that he had something to do with the fort. Yeah, that was a feeling that I had got.
Right. Yeah, I think so. So now you also do a lot of crossings when you're investigating, isn't that correct?
Yes.
So it seems to me that, and this is just me on the outside looking in, but must be that there's some souls ready for release over there is what's coming to me about that. I think it seems to make sense. Now, why do you think that they linger for so long?
Different reasons. With him, I'm not sure. I will assume that he was probably killed in whatever battle was going on there. Mm-hmm. He was somewhere in his 30s. He wasn't real tall, pretty skinny. I mean, I could see Tyler's got kind of chubby cheeks, and I could see the image of Tyler's face. His cheeks were coming in.
Wow.
And getting smaller, and yeah, the face was kind of drawn in, and like I said, Tyler was like, "Nope, I'm not doing this." He was seeing the same thing that I was, so we just broke with that, before it got too far.
Now, do you think that I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you think that that is just a visual representation, not like an attachment forming or anything like that?
No, okay. No, it wasn't attaching itself to anybody.
That's cool, because that was something that occurred to me. Is like, is there any danger in a situation like that of developing an attachment when a spirit is murdered?
There is. Okay. I mean, if you're not someone that knows how to protect yourself and are careful about what you do, mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is really profound. Pretty incredible. And you weren't scared throughout any of this, I'm sure, right?
No. Well, not until we got in the elevator and it didn't want to open up either way for us, and we were kind of stuck there. Yeah, that was a little scary. But
sure.
No, dealing with spirits, no, most of the time I'm not scared dealing with them.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Well, I think it's an incredible series of events, and I'm waiting for the sequel when you go to that fort because it just seems to me that that's the breadcrumbs that have been laid out for you.
Yeah. Well, this time when I'm there, I'm gonna see exactly what I pick up, and if there's anything there, I'm gonna try to go ahead and cross them over.
Oh, very cool. That's amazing. I'm so glad that you called in and shared that with us. It's an incredible series of events for sure.
Well, I tried to get Bella to call in, but she was like, "No, not me." So.
Well, we're pretty intimidating up in here.
Yeah, we're just
Especially Don.
Yeah. So.
No, but that's wonderful. Thank you so much, milady. It's great to hear from you, and keep us posted.
Yes.
Oh, I sure will. Anything else I get, you'll be the first one to hear about it.
All right. Well, have a wonderful night, Deb. Thanks again.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, good night.
Night.
That's really cool.
Wow, that is cool.
That's a solid series of events right there.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And Bella, I'm glad you got the chance to experience all that. That would be pretty intense, I would think, but very cool all the same. So
Nice.
wonderful. So we're back at it here. I love that when you guys call in. So don't think that it's necessary to stay on one topic. I mean, if you've got something cool that you want to share, just feel free to call in. We'd love to hear from you. We are not sticklers for ceremony. I mean, wherever the portal goes, it goes. I've said it many times. We tried many times to plan out episodes, but the portal kind of plans itself, and it just evolves. It's a living thing of its own will. So we're just along for the ride. We're just hanging on.
And it's so fun.
It is. It's definitely an honor for sure to do the show and to see all of you guys tuning in and taking part in it. It never gets old looking up and seeing all that. And thank you again, Brian, for that.
Generous donation.
Very, very cool.
Very honest. That's awesome. Thank you.
He did the same thing last night too.
Did he?
So yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
He's got to show up every day.
Maybe I need to sing a song for him. Maybe, I don't know, Main Street by Bob Seger.
Yeah. Well.
Not
yeah.
good.
You can have a private Skype session and go over that. That's fine.
I don't exactly know why, but it's kind of awesome. I posted this thing that said, if you were sitting in a bar and you heard one song that reminded you of me, what song would it be? And Brian said "Down on Main Street" by Bob Seger. That's an awesome song.
Yeah. Bob Seger is amazing. He is a great guy, I guess. I guess he's a really nice guy too.
Yes, like me.
Like you, of course. Absolutely.
Duke, that's not funny.
What?
He says "Down on Main Street." That's not funny.
Oh, the Duke's hitting them low. He's racking them up low over there.
Them a left and a right.
He's working them like a speed bag. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're going to do some cryptid stuff tonight, so hopefully we do it well. And we're going to start out with this is a site called StrangerDimensions.com. Oh. And looks like they got a lot of great material here. I just stumbled onto this. And they have Bigfoot sightings 2019, evidence and videos of the elusive cryptid. And obviously we can't show the videos, but let's read what they got to say. So there's apparently 17 of them. So the 17 is strange figures near Oregon Road. See, I said Oregon, Don?
Oregon. Yes.
I did. I can be trained, dude.
Not Oregon.
It's not Oregon. It's Oregon. Oregon. All right, not an organ. All right. In November, an individual phoned the Oregon State Police to report the sight of a large humanoid figure standing near I-84's Hood River, exit 64A. It was a creature, said the witness, that was much too big to be a bear and appeared to be a walking upright. And later, the Umatilla, Morrow County Watch... Umatilla? Okay, thank you. I appreciate all that corrections. All this regional pronunciations. Can you imagine how many words I have absolutely trashed throughout the course of this show?
Trust me, I know.
Just from this small sampling, you know that I butchered a hell of a lot of them. Umatilla? Is that right?
Umatilla, that's right.
Morrow County Watch Facebook page shared a screenshot from a traffic cam that happened to be on that very road, and it seemed to reveal that a large looming figure was indeed lingering by the road's guardrail. However, in the stark light of day, it became clear that the creature was actually a very large bush. It was a large bush, and I'll put it up on screen. Turns out it was not a large cryptid at all, ladies and gentlemen, but a large bush.
Are they talking about this right here?
Apparently they are. Either this one or this one. Yeah. One of those two. So
it's got a big bush. No.
All right. Yeah, so that's a bush, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bush. Let's go to Beard Vision so you can get a good look at his. All right. So that's the first one. Let's go to the next one. It says Bigfoot crosses street in Littleton, North Carolina. North Carolina has proved to be a hotspot for Bigfoot sightings this year with multiple entries. Let me go to the normal cameras. If we get something we need to put on screen, we'll put it on. Multiple entries on this very list. In early November, another sighting occurred when a woman in Littleton, North Carolina, allegedly saw a Bigfoot crossing an intersection. She told her tale to investigator Stephen Barcello, I don't know how you pronounce that, who uploaded a short interview to YouTube, and the woman, Ebony Bird, B-Y-R-D, said the relatively large creature stood up and began walking ape-like. She was in a hurry, so didn't fully comprehend what she had seen until she turned the corner. I was like, wait a minute, that was Bigfoot, she said. It was not a human. The incident happened on November 1st at about 4:40 p.m. Bird later went back to the scene of the encounter, but the possible Bigfoot was nowhere to be found. There's another one that's talking about strange screams, but it's a video. I'll read the narrative, but unfortunately I can't play you the video. But there's all kinds of screams recorded out there on the YouTubes, so you can find them, I'm sure. But it's YouTuber what the hell is that? Stargel? Yeah, Stargel or Stargel Black Star. Uploaded footage on October 3rd, 2019 that contains what seems to be the faint sound of strange screams he managed to record that same day. And as he tells it, he and his wife and his grandson were out goose hunting about 45 kilometers from Sioux Lookout, Ontario, Canada, and the screams lasted about 5 minutes. The incident occurred at 6:50 p.m. Central Standard Time. Some believe the screaming is that of a monster or perhaps even Bigfoot. One commenter even wonders if some of the alleged screams we hear in the forest could be a female Bigfoot giving birth.
Oh my.
Wow, that's an interesting thought. Yeah. That could be.
That's not
I was just I had a flashback to Sasquatch Chronicles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the latest episodes. Wes was asking about the size of the junk, and it was just
leave it to Wes to wonder what a male's genitalia looks like.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say that, but actually it was interesting because the guy said it was actually rather small, which is not what I would think, so there you have it. So maybe the birth canal is also small and it makes for some emotional births. That could be. On the other hand, more than a few claim it's possibly a wolf in distress. So, yeah, it was a good episode, though. and it went on for a while, too. It was like, and then Wes goes, no, I'll let it go, and he starts chuckling.
I bet he had a hold of it. We're going to let it go.
So it was a good show, though. It was a good episode. It was a good interview, but I was actually quite interested in that because, that's something I've wondered as well. It's like, well, you know what? Because people say, well, I saw the genitalia. Well, what were you seeing exactly? I mean, was it, dealing with another leg here, or was it a nub, or what were we working with? So it's kind of a curiosity.
Show me what you're working with.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, they're not very well endowed, for the record, and I did not know that before. So
they're like Greek statues.
It looked like a penis, only smaller.
I said something in TFR last night.
Sorry.
Never mind. That's how Nessie got the naughty moniker.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. There you go. So anyway, the next one is it's strange noises and possible Bigfoot in North Carolina again.
Tighten up. No, never mind.
What did I miss?
Titan said something you missed.
Oh, I gotta see it now. No, you can't do that to me. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm never even heard that before.
Oh, really? Wow.
No, that's brand new to me. That's brand new to me.
You're so naive, so innocent.
I guess so. I've led a sheltered life, ladies and gentlemen. But, a grower, not a shower. That's awesome. This is going to be a long night, isn't it? All right. So this is going to be a tough one. All right. In September, Bigfoot 911, In September, Bigfoot 911, a Bigfoot investigation group hailing from North Carolina, released the above, night vision photo. I guess we would have put this on screen so we can see what we got here. There's not much to see.
That's what they told Sasquatch.
Well, you don't want to hurt his feelings. He'll beat you into jelly. That's one creature you don't want to emasculate. He'll pound you into a food stamp.
Oh God.
All right. So, according to the group's founder, John Bruner, he and 3 other team members took a boat out onto the lake on September 28th, 2019, and headed for a nearby cove. According to the McDowell News, there had been reports of howling in that area around the lake, specifically in the Linville side. When Bruner and his team arrived, they cut the boat's engine and floated quietly, after which they heard movement, followed by wood knocks, and they then scanned the area with night vision cameras, which is when they noticed the dark figure standing among the trees of the forest. I assume they're meaning this.
Yeah.
That's pretty ambiguous, though. Okay, so by estimation, the creature stood roughly 7.5 feet tall. It was calm and non-threatening and made no noise. However, the knocking sounds continued, leading Bigfoot 911 to believe there may have been more than a single Bigfoot in the area and that they were perhaps communicating with each other. The group captured a total of 121 images. The sightings itself lasted about 5 minutes before the creature vanished into the forest, while the strange noises continued for 45 minutes afterwards. Now, I wish they would have included another picture without it.
Right.
You know, you got to have comparisons, but it could be. I'm not saying it can't be, because, I mean, none of this is really tight and sharp. Right. It's all kind of muddy.
Well, you know, Cade had a good point.
What was that?
Just a little bit ago, he said that there hasn't been enough red circles and white arrows lately.
Yeah, they help a bunch. They help me definitely tune my vision to their blobs.
Look here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Put your eye up here.
That's a good point. All right, let's go to the next one, and this is number 13, baby Bigfoot sighting in backyard. Oh, there's a picture here too. Another little dark mass. Oh, I wonder if that's a Bigfoot, or if that's one of our little people. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a small picture, though. I don't have much that I could do. Oh, yeah, I could blow it up, couldn't I?
You can zoom in.
Well, same thing, right? Same thing, Don. Potato.
Well, yeah, but blowing
Look at that.
up.
That might be.
That
could just be foliage there, though. It could be
it's looking more troll-like, though.
Well, I mean, I don't assume this is a leg. I assume this is a break in the foliage of some kind.
But maybe that's between his legs, like the little girl with the popcorn picture.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's my point, is that this is something in front of the legs. Both of these are. So this could be just squatting down. I don't know, but see what it says. On September 23rd, YouTube channel NVTV shared footage of an alleged baby Sasquatch. The video was... Yeah, NVTV. The video was captured by a boy in his backyard, and while blurry, it appears to show a very small, dark-figured humanoid figure among the trees and bushes of a nearby wooded area. At 1:20, the footage is replayed, zoomed in. The location of the footage, however, is unknown. There it is. Look, do you see that? The boy says rather nonchalantly in the video. That's crazy. There's a Sasquatch. Some viewers believe the video is simply too poor quality to make anything out, while others suggest the figure may be of a bear cub or some other animal. At least a few posit that there may be a family of big feet lurking in the bushes. NVTV, meanwhile, describes the potential creature as something dark and small, moving quickly on two legs like a monkey. Well, it could be a puck wedgie for all you know. I mean, it could be. It doesn't have to be a baby Bigfoot.
Cade's on fire tonight.
Oh, is he?
He says it's the terrifying six pixel monster.
He took up all 6 pixels, and it was mean.
It's okay. He's a grower. He'll show up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you said NVTV.
Yeah, it is.
Envy us TV, NVTV.
Yeah, they do a lot of footage,
Yeah.
and they put pretty much anything on, so it's not like they vet it at all.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know. Usually, what you're seeing on NVTV is pretty ambiguous and non-conclusive, but they'll throw anything up for a video, and I'm not putting them down. I mean, that's fine, but they don't do any kind of investigation on it. They just say, well, here's something that came in, think what you want, and that's cool. But
Here's one from the favorite
What?
research group.
oh, the BFRO,
Yeah.
yeah. I know some people have bad experiences with the BFR. I don't know anything. I mean, other than what people say, but I don't have anything against them personally. They might be a bunch of blowhards, and they might be okay. And I'm sure it depends on the researcher.
Yeah.
Just like any group, there's some real douches out there, and there's some real amazing people. So I'm sure it's the same in the BFRO. But I don't know. I know they take a lot of flack, and maybe they got it coming. I just don't know. I don't have any solid opinion of my own. So this says possible young Sasquatch sighted in New Jersey. A report filed with the BFRO in August details a possible Sasquatch sighting in Burlington County, New Jersey. The sighting occurred in June as the witness was traveling on Route 563 at 6:40 p.m. near the Franklin Parker Preserve. A figure appeared to be on the ground near the left side of the road, which the witness first mistook for a groundhog. How big are groundhogs? However, it then stood up on two legs, reaching an approximate height of 3.5 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
The witness passed by the creature, but then turned around to investigate, and the creature was still near the road, and according to witnesses, looked like a cross between Curious George and the character Chaka from Land of the Lost. Chaka.
Nice.
Not Cha-Cha, Chaka. While the creature was covered in golden brown fur, its face and hands were bare. The witnesses also noted that its eyes were simply brown with no white areas.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, that's what you'd expect. After the very brief encounter, the unidentified creature ran off with incredible speed, diving behind a bush and out of view.
Was it a very big bush?
I don't know. During a follow-up investigation by BFRO's Eric Spinner and other members, they recreated the encounter and took measurements, finding that the alleged creature likely would have been closer to 4 feet in height as it appeared to the witnesses. There you have it. Wowzers. So I'm going to pause on this because we're getting close to our next break, which is what? We're already
We're already
on an hour break.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's going fast.
Hey, did you know what?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
We had a few things bought in our store.
Did we really?
Yeah, I wonder if that portal or the Rockers 20, ROCKERS 20, all capital letters, discount code may be working. Because I know it's active until the 8th. So it's another week.
So if you're thinking of getting something from our store, now's the time, because
Now's
there's
the
a
time.
chance to save how much, Don?
15%.
15% off your purchases in the store. So,
right.
yeah, I mean, it goes a long way to help us a bunch. And, we're trying to put new stuff out there all the time.
And I want to go to International this year because I want to meet Travis Walton finally.
Yeah, we're going to go to the International Bigfoot Conference in Washington State, ladies and gentlemen, this year. So you could sure help us a bunch getting there. So if you're looking for some portal gear, head over to the link in the description, the Teespring link, and check it out. Again, Rockers 20, capital ROCKERS. But following tonight's show, stick around for Paisley Wild. She'll be coming up next on TFR iHeart. Tune in and TalkStream Live. And she also streams live on her YouTube channel at youtube.com/thespacesbetween. Right, Don?
That's
The
correct.
spaces.
That's,
Okay.
Yeah, the spaces between, yeah.
Okay, and she's got a bunch of things going on, and last night's show was really cool. Good interview.
Tonight's the second part of that interview.
Okay, so part 2 of that interview is coming up tonight.
That's
if you
correct.
caught last night's show, so check it out. But you can also check it out on tfrlive.com.
That's correct.
And hang out in the chat room there. So there's options. And after that, you definitely got to head over to tfrlive.com.
You know why?
/chat. I do know why.
Excellent. Why?
Because the Duke, our very own World Bigfoot Radio, Duke Sullivan, will be coming up on TFR iHeart. Tune in and TalkStream Live with the World Bigfoot Radio, and you can hang out in the chat room with the Duke. So go over to tfrlive.com/chat and get a username of your very own and chat with the Duke. So we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away for more of the Paranormal Portal.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, ripping scars across my heart. Raging anger boils inside me as their lies keep falling apart. With my silence, I am not a stupid boy. No more breaking me with kindness, just you dance upon my joy. Leading me with empty promise, you're just another fucking mess. Taking off the slice of my sanity, just make sure that you're well fed. Yeah.
is not like those she's with. They're attracted to the one thing about her that's different from themselves. Her life force is very strong. It gives off its own illumination. It is a light that implies life and memory of love and home and earthly pleasures. Something they desperately desire, but can't have anymore. Right now, she's the closest thing to that.
Poltergeists are usually associated with an individual. Hauntings seem to be connected with an area. A house, usually.
Poltergeist disturbances are fairly short duration, perhaps a couple of months. Hauntings can go on for years.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hour number 2 is now upon you here on the Paranormal Portal. And we are grooving the night away. Just grooving. Don, do you feel the groove of tonight?
I'm feeling it, my big friend.
You are. Good. Me too. You say you're big friend?
I did just roll
I'm
out.
trying to get littler.
That's not what. Hold on, let me get my Windex so I don't streak.
Ooh, have a pull.
Have a dribble on that.
Let me grab a snort of that, will you?
It keeps me from streaking.
Oh, we got some static spikes.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
It's the beauty of broadcasting, ladies and gentlemen, live as we speak right now. To all of you out there, hopefully you guys are enjoying the show so far. We've got lots more to go. Another full hour of the show is ahead of us.
Wow.
But the phone lines are open if you want to call in and take part in the festivities. We are here waiting for you. And, that went to, you see, the counter went to 0 for a while.
Wow.
And that's why I was asking in chat, but now it's climbing again. Then it took another dump. So I don't know if the YouTube counter is even accurate. It's been kind of going up and down.
Yeah.
It's hard to know. I mean, sometimes it would be like from 50 to nothing and then go to 60 and then to 30. And
That'd be a hard stop.
It would be. It's tough to do that.
Hard
So,
stop and a long drop.
Yeah, well, it was. My heart dropped when I saw that 0. I was like, no, are we still broadcasting?
Nessie says that's not a noise. It's her breathing.
What's going on over there, Nessie?
I wonder.
Just be careful.
Tickle,
over there.
tickle.
Okay, let's make it all up close and personal here on the portal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are into it, and we are going through a
half hour.
we're going into this our third half hour. You're right. Yeah, that sounded weird, but you're absolutely right. It is.
Don can do mouth. Don't blow on my ear.
Don't. Yeah, breaker.
MCAT, does this sound familiar?
Hey there, good buddy. This is Rubber Ducky back on your 5 or on your 6. Riding your 6 up to 69. No, I guess I'm in a highway number. I'm in a highway number, but I chose poorly. I chose the number poorly.
I almost spit my jug all over the...
Oh, yeah. I got to be careful with my improv because numbers just come out and they're sometimes not the right ones.
Oh, I'm going to have to cut a lot of this out. Naughty Nessie's blushing.
Oh, wow. There you go. But Lewis is trolling for you, by the way. He's asking who wants to marry you. So you'll have to stay tuned to hear the responses.
Elaine,
oh, my God,
wow.
Elaine. Woo.
Woohoo! She is the portaler of the night.
Oh, man.
Yes. Wow. That's awesome. Thank you.
That's a pretty color right now.
I know.
The big red. It's like,
Is it,
whoa.
When you say you're in the red, that's not good, right?
Well, this one's great.
This one's great.
We're going to the conference, Don.
Yay! We can afford half the table.
Yeah. We're going to do a booth there, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen. We are going to do a booth. So
we don't know what the hell we're going to put on it. But, you know.
Well, probably selfies of Don. signed long beards.
I'll just be laying there on the table.
Yeah.
We're serving up some spirit cooking with Don.
Oh, Jesus God. Well, that took an ugly turn. That went a whole different direction.
And I just want you folks to know that the camera actually makes me look good.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
it helps for sure. It helps, and the low lighting, of course, helps both of
Yeah,
us.
exactly.
The low lighting is always good.
Does this shadow make me look big?
I got a face for low lighting, ladies and gentlemen. So
Got a voice for radio and a face for silent movies. No, a voice for silent movies and a face for radio.
there you go.
That's the one.
Well, we are back at it. Thank you so much, Elaine. That is amazing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's just it really makes such a huge difference. Wow.
I take my hat off to you.
Ooh, there's hair, guys.
Oh, he's not bald.
He's got a long beard and a head of hair.
Well,
It
I'm
didn't
still
know
having to make up with the.
Yeah. He's been clipping and gluing all night long so he could pull his head off today. Nope, he's got a full head of hair, ladies and gentlemen.
The toupee stayed on.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are. Oh, you got it looking good there from Clear. It's a lot of time. Cryptidville laughing. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. We are going through a list of Bigfoot sightings from the year 2019, and we will continue this. And the one we're on now is Bigfoot throws rocks in Hickory, North Carolina. You notice there's a lot coming out of North Carolina, and I'd never realized there was so much activity over there. I mean, I knew there was some, but this list is like chock full. I don't know if the site is based out of North Carolina or what. Maybe it is. Maybe this is just all North Carolina. And I'm just
Stranger Dimensions.
strangerdimensions.com.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, find out. But Bigfoot throws rocks in Hickory, North Carolina. And it says, Bigfoot hunter Doug Teague believes he may have spotted a Bigfoot while out recovering trail cameras in McDowell County, North Carolina in mid-August. As he told the Morganton News Herald, Teague initially heard what he thought was simply the telltale tapping of a nearby woodpecker, but then something threw a rock at him. When he turned to look, he noticed a dark figure lurking in the trees not too far from him. He managed to capture a photo, which he shared on his Facebook, stating, I don't normally post my sightings, but today I was excited. I got some of the best video and vocals I have ever got.
Wow.
He also managed to capture a short video, which includes footage of possible Bigfoot tracks in the area, and some believe what Teague saw was nothing but a bear. Well, there's all kinds of bears running around if this is the case. I mean, that's like the skeptic's first thing to run to.
Exactly.
It was a bear.
It was a bear with mange, the poor thing.
Yeah. We'll get into this in a second. However, aside from that fact that the something he witnessed through rocks, Teague also feels the reaction of his dog Daisy may provide another clue. He says, Daisy will approach bears, but in this case, she was going nuts, but staying close to me. Now, I think bears are generally really, really, really skittish, are they not?
They unless they're like hungry, they're not gonna bother you 99% of the time.
Right.
Unless it's like a man-eating, tiger, lion, a man-eating lion. If they get a taste and it tastes like prime rib. Well, you might be on the menu for every now and then, but in general, no, they don't bother you.
Right.
Because I had that one run through my front yard.
You were right out there too.
And it's like he just kind of looked and went, "Oh, how you doing? I'm here for the barbecue, but I gotta run.
I'm running late. Sorry.
See you, baby. I'll be back next time.
No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. Here's the picture, ladies and gentlemen. It's on the screen. I don't know what the hell is this. There's this over here, and then there's this over here, and this this looks like a face to me. I don't know what I'm looking at. I have no idea. Again,
it's like a shoulder, like
right.
the left shoulder and the far.
Well, this
profile.
looks like an eye, nose, some kind of beard, and then a shoulder here is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it looks like.
But then
dog.
there's this over here. It looks like a what?
It looks like a dog.
This does?
Like a plothound or something.
Oh, maybe.
And a long ear right there.
I was thinking of a dwarf or something.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. It looks pretty tiny.
We can recognize our own.
Yeah. Don, you're able to recognize dwarves?
Yeah. I just can't say anything.
Right. Well, keep it safe.
Okay.
But I'm not sure which one we're supposed to be looking at here.
Exactly.
This
That's kind of
or this.
Well,
now,
or the this right here. This is shoulders and a head, obviously. Right?
Well, this could be eyes.
Dang it! We need red circles.
Yeah, if we had red circles, we could
We'd know
definitely dial
exactly
this
what
in,
there
ladies and
was.
gentlemen. But it just goes to show you. I mean, it could be matrixing, could be pareidolia. It's hard to know. Did you hear a knock?
That was my bottle.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I just heard a knock, and I was like, just wondered if the minion was at the door or something. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that photo, but it's interesting. And then I'm not saying it's not what he says it is.
It's just really inconclusive.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things like, just like with the orb photos we were covering last night, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not there, if you can't test it, if you can't try to duplicate the shot, it's hard to ever sign off and say, well, that's definitely a squatch. Well, that's definitely a ghost. Well, you can't know until you've done test shots, and, they should really have before after kind of stuff cooking. And maybe on these respective channels they do. Maybe there's more in-depth analysis, and this is just an article covering a bunch of them. So I'm not disparaging anybody at this point, but just on the outside looking in, it's hard to make any kind of judgment calls because there's just no way to know.
I'll make those calls.
Don will make all
I'm a
of the judgment
Capricorn.
calls. Yeah, okay. All right, and here's one from North Carolina. Yeah, it must be a North Carolina site.
It is,
It's
yeah. It's got to be. I haven't found it yet, but
Okay, Vicky Cook of Shelby, North Carolina, claims Bigfoot lives in the woods near her home. According to a report by WCNC, her evidence includes grainy home video footage as well as large footprints.
of course.
She also claims to have had personal sightings of the cryptid, encounters that began on March 2019. Cook has described the creature as very tall, huge even. It was on two legs. It was bipedal. The hair on the head of the body was real stringy and matted looking. Cook claims that many different sets of footprints have been found near her property with differing sizes. This may indicate an entire family of Bigfoot, or big feet in parentheses, question mark. Curiously enough, she's also been leaving food out for them. Whoa, not a good idea.
No habituating.
Don't habituate. And they seem to prefer sweet things like candy and peanut butter. Wait till she can't do it.
Yes,
Then she'll find out how fun that is.
that's right.
Once you don't show up with the sweets, I mean, I know what my minion gets like if he doesn't get something
Right.
sugary. I can't imagine a 9-foot minion that's strong as, King Kong would be like. I mean, he blows gaskets when he can't get a candy bar at the store. I'm just saying, you don't want to get into that habit. If you're going to habituate with anything, do it with objects,
Yes.
things that they, that
Don't
are
become reliant on, like
Yeah.
food.
right. And Bear brought up a good point when he was on the show. He's like, we don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
They could be absolutely deathly allergic to chocolate. They could be allergic to peanut butter. We don't know anything about their digestion other than, what we believe they eat.
Right.
So, be careful just introducing our Franken foods to these to these beings that are surviving on the fruits of the earth, It's got to be, I bet you they get the real digestive issues going on after they get habituated.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, even some of the Bigfooters that have been around for a while that habituated have started saying they need to stop.
Yeah, Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry said.
Jerry was leaving out. He calls them Reese cups.
Yeah. It's like
He's I'll leave out those Reese cups.
Yeah, he said nope, no more. I'm done.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And he's right. I mean, it's one of those things. Once you can't do it, or you forget to do it,
Yeah.
then you're going to find out just how damaging it is.
How much poop they can fling.
I've read stories of them coming into a homestead that had been habituating with food,
Right.
and the person was in the hospital, and apparently they came there, the food wasn't out, and they killed all of his goats.
No way.
Yeah, like
Well, that's okay. Goats
ripped them
suck
apart.
anyhow.
So, yeah, because what? Goats suck?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I
God,
don't know.
hate goats.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you get up in the morning, you go out to your car to get to work, and you got like 3 goats dancing on the hood of your car.
Well, yeah, you probably should pen them somewhere.
You can't pin them. I watched one stand on top of a 6-foot 4-inch pole,
Really?
6 foot high, 4 inches, 4x4, standing up there. Nah.
Well, there's that. You did a good goat, though. I didn't know you could do a good goat.
Oh yeah, I can smoke them. They're awesome.
I meant your impression. But
Oh
yeah, but I mean, I'm sure that I've eaten goat before, and it's actually pretty delicious.
it's actually pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. So
True.
here's what?
Magion says, traumatic experience, Don? Yes. They're scratching my paint.
Yeah, that part would not be good.
Oh, my God. There was a dent. Why did it just...
Yeah, you got to like make little shoes for them or something.
Make little shoes. Yeah, just cut off their little feet.
Okay, that's a little sadistic. All right, 2 mysterious Bigfoot sightings on the roads in Georgia. Now we're going to Georgia.
Wow.
In May, 2 sightings occurred within the span of 1 week in northern Georgia. On May 20th, nearly 8-foot tall bipedal creature was reported between Ellijay and Blue Ridge at 8:30 p.m. near a small community known as Cherry Log. A second sighting was reported near Clayton, Georgia, in the early morning hours of May 27th. The 2 locations are about 75 miles away from each other, although both witnesses described the towering creatures as dark in color, leading some to wonder if the sightings are related. I don't know. How far is 75 miles for a Bigfoot? I don't know.
They have
Well,
a
they
long
said it
stride.
was how far away was it, or how much distance? Second sighting in the early morning hours of May 27th. So that's 7 days. They could definitely be 75
Oh,
miles.
yeah.
I mean, a person could do it in 7 days for sure. So I mean, it'd be a haul, but it could be done. So
Well, it's how many? 7 days?
7 days, yeah, from the 20th to the 27th.
Well,
So-
it's only 10, 11 miles a day.
Right. Yeah, it can be done.
It's not very easily.
Yep. So the 2 locations are about 75 miles away from each other. I already read that one. Edward Lee, a man who spotted the creature in Cherry Log, described it as hairy with very long arms, like a primate. And he estimated it stood about 78 feet tall. Notably, it had a pointed head. Lee had been driving down the highway when he saw the potential cryptid loitering just off the road.
Sure.
The creature then wandered back into the woods and seemingly vanished.
Ooh.
2 sketches of the creature can be seen at the Expedition Bigfoot Facebook page, where the report initially appeared. Wow, very cool. After seeing that first report, another witness came forward with their own sighting. This one near Clayton, Georgia. It too featured a large black/gray creature spotted walking in a nearby field. When the witness stopped his car and got out for a better look, the creature reportedly walked back into the woods. Wow. That's, these are some good sightings. They're mostly happenstance sightings, but they're really cool. We haven't gotten a lot of, hey, they're beating on my house and, eating my dogs, but these are the good kind of sightings, I think.
These are the exciting ones.
Right, not the terrifying ones. So this is number 8. Bigfoot sighting involves an axe in Oregon. Also in May, an Oregon man was arrested by police after dialing 911 and claiming he'd been attacked by someone with an axe in Klamath County. What his frenzied call failed to mention was that the attacker, or so he claimed, was the Pacific Northwest's very own Sasquatch with an axe. Wow. I've never heard of them using axes before. When the police questioned the caller...
This is not a valid menu option.
I'm still wondering, why is she interrupting us?
I don't know. She's kind of needy.
She's pushy.
Don't be so pushy, lady.
Gosh.
Get your own show.
Stop it, Sophia.
When his frenzy call failed to mention that the attacker was Sasquatch with an axe, when police questioned the caller of the scene of the alleged crime, Sasquatch was suspiciously absent, and the man appeared unharmed. There was also no explanation for why the hairy cryptid may have attacked the man with an axe in the first place. Upon a subsequent investigation, said the country's country. It says country, though.
It does say country.
Yeah, it should be the county deputy district attorney Cole Chase. Well, that's kind of a cool name. My name's Cole Chase. Sounds like a Cole Chase, private eye.
Cole Chase.
DA, Cole Chase, DA. There were no signs that Sasquatch was present. With no evidence of Sasquatch, the weapon, or further details, the man was charged with filing a false police report. Yeah, so make sure there's proof before you call the authorities, because you don't want to get arrested. Via their own verified Twitter account on April 29th, the Indian Army revealed their own discovery of strange prints they believe to have been left by the legendary Yeti. For the first time, an Indian Army mountaineering expedition team has sighted It's cited with the S. Mysterious footprints of mythical beast, the Yeti, measuring 32 by 15 inches, close to how big? 32
What?
by 15? That sounds like giant.
32 long and 15 wide. I imagine.
That's
between...
mountain giant.
Yeah,
that's not
giant.
Yeti. that's got to be mountain giant prints if they're 32 inches long. That's no longer in the Squatch range. And if it is, there's some big ass Squatch out there.
Yeah.
Close to Makalu Base Camp on 9th of April, 2019. I don't know, Duke, what do you think? That sounds like mountain giant, doesn't it?
He said giant, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He said giant.
Oh, yeah. That's way too big for a Squatch. Pictures were included along with the tweet. Many are skeptical that the prints were left by a Yeti. Others suggest the single-file nature of the prints may be evidence of Yeti hopping.
Yeti hopping?
Is that a sport up there? What does that mean?
Well, they do curling up there.
In which the Yeti perhaps walks or hops in a line to conceal their numbers.
Oh, they're skipping.
Oh, okay. So they're reusing the same prints. Some experts, on the other hand, believe the prints are simple bear prints.
Oh, God.
Whatever the case, the bears are always guilty as far as some people are concerned. Whatever the case, the fact that the Indian Army are the ones making the claim has raised more than a few eyebrows. Well, if they look like footprints and they were that big, that's mountain giant.
Yeah.
That's got to be.
Yeah, that's...
And if any of you haven't seen it, here it is.
Yeah.
Those are the prints, apparently. I think these are the people prints here, where they came upon them, but you can see the spread. That's a huge print. That's enormous. That's terrifying, actually. That's like the giant of Kandahar size, is what it sounds like, really. I mean, that's huge. But no, I wouldn't think that was a Yeti at all. I think, ladies and gentlemen, if those prints are authentic, and I can't imagine them making a claim like that if they didn't feel they were. Because, even though they're from India, they are a military unit, and, they aren't prone to fantastical exaggerations. Very, very bizarre. I think that they may very well have had something up there. Bigfoot prints mystify Argentina. In other Bigfoot Tracks news, in March, 2 strange incidents occurred in Argentina, each involving the appearance of mysterious human-like footprints. Now, this is South America, so that's interesting. We don't hear a lot out of there. Yeah. El Tribuno featured the story on March 26, 2019. The footprints were located on a farm in Ovando and apparently measured 15 centimeters, about 6 inches wide, and about 10 inches long. Well, that's wide, but...
That's like a square.
It's very stout,
it's
yeah.
Very rectangle.
Right.
Must have been low center of gravity,
Yeah, well, could be. Adding to the mystery, the prints were found after an incident the previous night on the farm. The farm's dogs inexplicably began to panic and cry at something that appeared, after which the farmer Nelson Kolke ran out and fired shots into the air to scare whatever it might have been. The odd thing is that when there are people, the dogs usually bark. They do not cry, Kolke added, recalled. A few weeks prior, another massive footprint was found in another area of Argentina over 500 miles away. As impossible as it may seem, some think the two sets of prints may be related. 500 miles away? I don't think so. After just a few weeks, that's a hell of a range. Some locals believe the prints may have been left by the legendary Ucumar, Argentina's version of the Bigfoot. That could be. We're down to about the 2-minute mark here, so I think we'll leave the rest of these for after the last break, ladies and gentlemen. My God, the time has flown.
It is.
Remember, after our show tonight, Paisley Wild will be coming up next on TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live, as well as streaming on our own channel on youtube.com/thespacesbetween.
Correct.
And then after Paisley's show, go back over to tfrlive.com/chat. Get yourself a username, get yourself a password, and sign up for the chat, because you can hang out during World Bigfoot Radio with the Duke over there. And it's a really amazing experience because you hang out with the Duke. He gives you background and information that isn't featured in the episode. You can ask questions. You can get a chance to talk to him one-on-one. Or
you can ask him about his bearded dragon.
Yeah, he's got a bearded dragon. It's really cool. That was really cool. So it's a great time hanging out with the Duke on his show, and that'll be coming up on tfrlive.com after the spaces between. So it's an amazing night. Saturday nights are amazingly chock full of all kinds of amazing adventure and entertainment. So
That's correct.
hopefully you guys will keep sticking around and being a part of this. But we are going to go to our last break.
Last break.
Last break, Dawn. Doesn't it go too fast, though?
Some days it does, yeah.
Sundays?
It's been fire.
You're not even here on Sundays.
Some days.
Not some days, every day. This thing goes fast every time, doesn't it?
It did.
Only once in a great while do we have a show that feels like it drags, but usually these shows are amazing. And you guys make them amazing, so thank you for all of you that are here. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away for more of the Paranormal Portal. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Last half hour of our show here. Just coordinate with the Duke. Oh, there it is. It finally came, Duke. I see it now. I see it. It's here. And this is an interesting image for sure. This is actually. Oh wow, that's pretty intense. I wish it was bigger though. I'm gonna see if I can copy this and make it bigger. So Don, talk for a moment, will you please?
Talk, yeah. Actually, let's see here. Is this correct? So 16 cryptids that might or might not exist. I love this one. It always starts with A. I love when they start with A because what's the A stand for? It stands for a-hole. A-holes are enormous carnivorous bats that are said to...
A-holes.
Enormous carnivorous bats that are said to inhabit the rainforests of Java in Indonesia. Believed to have a wingspan in excess of 10 feet, making them roughly the size of a condor. A-holes are said to be covered in thick brown or black fur like fruit bats, but unlike bats, have long, powerful legs and claws and are supposed to be capable of pouncing on and snatching up live prey, including humans, if the stories are to be believed, from open ground. Sightings of a-holes are often dismissed simply as mistaken glimpses of owls, eagles, and other large birds of prey that inhabit the same rainforest. But some sources claim the creatures do indeed exist and may even be an isolated and as yet undiscovered species descendant from those flying dinosaurs. Pterosaurs, yes. I don't even know how to pronounce this one. It's Japanese. Ikuru Kamiu.
Maybe skip that one.
Well, I'll skip it because I'll just go this way. It's pretty simple. The native Anu people of Japan have long believed that Volcano Bay off the south coast of... I know how to pronounce that. Is home to an enormous octopus called the Carnarvonarium. For the rest of this story, it will be referred to as an enormous octopus. Numerous sightings of the creature have been made over the years. British missionary named John Batchelor, who was working at Hokkaido in early 1900s, recorded one such sighting in his book, The Anu and Their Folklore, writing that a great sea monster with large staring eyes had attacked 3 local fishermen in their boat. The monster was round in shape and emitted a dark fluid and noxious odor. The 3 men fled in dismay, not so much in fear, they say, but on the account of the dreadful smell.
Sorry, that was me.
Well, thank you.
I had to plug in my phone. It's almost
okay.
dead. Sorry. Again, me. Go ahead. And action. Places and action.
However, that may have been, they were so scared the next morning, all 3 refused to get up and eat. They were lying in their beds, pale and trembling.
Wow.
The Altamaha. The Altamaha is a 20 to 30 foot long river monster with large flippers and a seal-like snout that is said to inhabit the mouth of the Altamaha River near Darren, Georgia. Although numerous accounts of sightings of the Altamaha have apparently been made over the years, the fact that Darren was founded as New Inverness by a band of Scottish Highlanders in 1736 seems to suggest that the legend is probably nothing more than a descendant of the Scots settlers' tales of the Loch Ness Monster. Dobuhar Chua. The Dobuhar Chua, or waterhound, is a legendary otter-like animal that supposedly lives in the isolated freshwater lows and rivers of Ireland. Usually described as a half-dog, half-fish hybrid with a long snaking body covered in thick fur, the Dobhar-Chu is large and heavyset, but can move very fast both in water and on land. Even, according to one story, being able to keep up with a galloping horse. Sightings of the creature date back several centuries in Ireland, and there are at least 2 gravestones, including one in County Leitrim, dating back as far as 1722, of people who were reportedly attacked and killed by the creature. Oh, here's another one.
Another one.
The Emela Toka. A number of native Central African tribes believe the swamps of the Congo Basin are inhabited by an enormous semi-aquatic creature known as the Emela Toka, similar to, but larger than a hippopotamus, and armed with a single long bony tusk or horn in the center of its forehead. It is apparently a herbivore, but like the hippo, it has a reputation for being dangerously confrontational when disturbed, and has even been known to turn on and kill creatures even larger than itself. Its name means elephant killer.
Wow.
Let me read this one real quick. Yeah. Let me see. What time? Okay. Grootslang. 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 Grootslang, or Great Snake, is a legendary monster said to dwell in the caves of Richtersveld, a mountainous desert region in northwest South Africa. In local mythology, Grootslangs were primordial creatures composed of the head and front of an elephant and the back and tail of an enormous serpent. When the earth was created, the Grootslang...
I am Groot.
I just realized what I was saying. Grootslang
Grootslang.
were all apparently destroyed, but according to legend, some survived and retreated to the deepest caves of the northern Cape Province. Tales of enormous tusked snakes probably inspired the real-life sightings of enormous pythons that live in the same area, have rumbled on the South African folklore ever since. The mysterious disappearance of a British diamond magnate named Peter Grayson in the caves in 1917 is sometimes blamed on the Grootslang. There you go.
That's awesome.
What do you think of that?
I think those are some interesting things. I don't know. I mean, again, how many things can be out there? Well, apparently as many as can be imagined.
You know, if you look on Wikipedia,
Yeah.
lists of cryptids,
It just comes up.
yeah, they just, let's see, there's the Altamahaha, Bear Lake Monster, which is South Idaho, Utah, Bessie, the Lake Erie Monster,
Bessie, as opposed to Nessie.
yeah, very.
Bessie.
The Brosno Dragon in Russia, the Bunyip, we know about bunyips. This one called Caddy, Pacific Coast of North America. Well, okay, hold on.
What the hell's a caddy?
Nicknamed, it's Cadborosaurus.
Oh.
Nicknamed Caddy, is a sea serpent in the folklore of regions of the Pacific coast of North America. Its name is derived from the Cadboro Bay in Greater Victoria, British Columbia, and the Greek root word saurus means lizard or reptile.
Yeah, every kindergartner knows that.
Of course, there's Champ.
Speaking of saurus,
Oh, no.
I've got a shirt. Never mind.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
The entertainment's free, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you got what you paid for.
May I refer back to his earlier thing about trying to be like a trucker on the CB radio? Let me refer back to that being a source.
Yeah, well, that's for sure.
Champ.
I'd take it back if I could. It was just too late.
And I'm
I
gonna
couldn't
clip
eat
it
those
out
words.
And cut it and put it everywhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Tonight's
you will.
one I'm going to have to do work on. So
Yeah.
I've got to do work. Champ from Lake Champlain. Chessie, Atlantic coast of the United States, especially the Chesapeake Bay. The dingo neck is also called the jungle walrus, a tusked water-dwelling animal from Western Africa.
No, see, that sounds plausible to me. I mean, we got the manatees over here.
Sure, yeah.
That's not a big difference from a walrus in a lot of ways.
So the dingonet is a creature said to have been seen near Lake Victoria in 1910 by big game hunter John Alfred Jordan and members of his hunting party, as recounted by fellow big game hunter Edgar Beecher Bronson in his 1910 memoirs, Enclosed Territory. It goes on to say other things, but that's where it comes from.
Cool.
Giant anacondas. We're not going to go there. Is that Igopogo from Lake Simcoe.
Oh.
Is this the one up by Robin Moonshadow?
I thought hers was Ogopogo. I don't know.
I don't know.
Can't keep them all straight.
The Aishi from Japan.
Okay.
The Kraken. The Kushi from Japan. I'm not even going to pronounce that because it's from Iceland.
Yeah, but Icelandic words are tough.
Yeah, there's no way.
We got a call. But before we get to the call, I do want to. Do you mind if we?
Oh no, we're wrapped up.
I want to show this image that the Duke sent.
Okay.
And my God, it was bigger before. Don't even start. Don't even start.
Let me refer to the Bigfoot comments earlier.
I had it blew up before.
He blew it up.
God, there's no way to save any of that, is there? That whole dialogue just pretend it didn't happen, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. As we are a family show.
I will slather it all over YouTube.
Here's the image that was sent, and Duke actually captured this on a video from our dear friend Kevin Lang that he had recorded. And, I don't think Kevin was aware that it was there, but Duke, as he was watching it, found this in it. And he said it was up in a tree in the video and looks to be covering, like, this may be the eyes and the arm covering the lower part of the face is what I'm assuming.
He's dabbing.
Yeah, it's like a dab, right. Yeah, it's like, doing something like that. It's pretty interesting. That doesn't look like a tree. It looks like it's, I don't know. It doesn't look like it matches the size of the tree that it's in, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't. It'd be a giant burl.
Yeah.
But
what is a burl? Those big knobs?
Big giant knocks. Yeah. That you tear off and make, tables out of.
Oh, okay.
They're worth thousands of dollars. But no, that's
okay. Good.
Yeah, no, that has no symmetry to the tree.
No, it's because this is not a very big tree, or at least this part of the tree is like, sapling size if it was on the ground.
Oh, and he said this is 20 feet up too.
Yeah, this is 20 feet up in the air.
And he's got his hand over his face. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So this is a much better capture of what could very well be a young squatch. Or a squatchlet, as Duke calls them. Squatchlet, So it's a good capture. Thanks, brother, for sending that in, and it's a good catch for you. I mean, I'm sure. I'm amazed at some of the stuff you pull out of Kevin's videos, because you've caught another one that was hanging out in a tree as well, and I mean, clearly, even Don, when he saw it, went, "Oh, there's a tree peeker."
Yeah. Well, and then plus he sent in those pictures of the root balls 20 feet up in the Like, how the hell did
the
those
stump
get
and the root ball? Yeah, being up in 50 feet up in a tree.
A burl squatch, very rare critter. Thank you, Cha-Cha. A burl squatch.
Burl squatch.
It's a blur squatch. It says blur squatch, but burl sounds better. Yes,
burl.
I'll take credit for that one.
Okay, that sounds good to me. But anyway, I think this is a great capture. So very cool. But it looks like our good friend Mr. Naysay is on the horn.
Naysay!
And we got about 10 minutes left of the show. So that's about a good Naysay segment. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hello. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Hey, how's you tonight?
I apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing as fantastic as the universe will allow, as I say all the time, but we both know how relentless the universe can be.
It can.
And I apologize. Strangely enough, my refrigerator keeps getting loud the last few times that I've been calling in.
Well, it's got my vote.
If it's running, Don will vote for it, he says. So, no worries. I can't hear your refrigerator at all, so it must be just you hearing it there. So it sounds good to me.
I love the romanticism of the nostalgia of the idea that these young Sasquatches are going back to the community, and their mother or father are like smacking them upside the back of the head saying, "We just saw you on social network. How many times have we told you to stop being caught? This is your second warning.
Your father's over there in the holler, and he's not happy. You go talk to him."
Right. Yeah, like there's a little group or a little council of Sasquatch that are on mobile devices scanning the internet to see who gets caught.
That could be it.
And they're like, "You need to watch your boy. He's been caught 4 times this week."
Yeah.
Or imagine the lecturer about when they're trying to teach the young squatchlings not to poop on their fur.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Which reminds me of a joke.
Yeah, the sticking fur.
Yeah.
And that's
Rabbits.
where I'm going with it. Thank you for the segue, Don.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, here's my new Sasquatch joke.
Uh-oh.
So this rabbit is happily hopping through the woods, carefree and just enjoying life and stuff, and he turns the corner, and there's this big Sasquatch just sitting there squatting down. And the rabbit is scared straight, and he can't move, petrified, looking at the Sasquatch in the eye, and he's all, and the rabbit doesn't know what to do, and he's just terrified. And then the Sasquatch goes, "Rabbit, do you have a problem with poop sticking to your fur?" And the rabbit goes, "No." And then the Sasquatch picks him up and wipes his butt.
Yeah, I've heard that one. I think it was a bear in the version I heard, but I like that. I like the refit of the Sasquatch. That's suitable. That works good.
Right. You're absolutely right. I did pull it from that old joke that I used to know in Anishinaabe. That used to be one of my favorite jokes. But may I indulge you guys with my paranormal premises of the freaky vision I had last night?
By all means, last night was an
And
interesting night. So
it has to do with the Super Bowl tomorrow. Now, if you write down the word bowl, B-O-W-L, and if you get into the esoteric, if you know that the B is actually the number 13. Do you see it?
Yeah.
The straight line is the 1.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And so it's 13 owl.
Okay.
And if you know the esoteric and the symbolism of the owl and the number 13 and the so-called, lack of a better term, Illuminati, which I call the powers that should not be. And now with this latest flu scare, and I apologize, I am not in the want of pushing anybody into negativity or fear, but I do believe that we need to be prepared and have our immune system to its optimal performance, because we are going into this situation tomorrow where the Super Bowl is being held in Florida. The 2 teams are from Kansas City, and the other team is from San Francisco, which I just learned a week and a half ago, because I don't follow football at all. So we have people that are going to be crossing the entirety of the country, and it is going to be following the path of the moon and the sun as it goes from Florida all the way up to San Francisco. The sunrise tomorrow, ironically, with the sunset tomorrow, is at the start of the Super Bowl. The moon at its zenith will be overhead at the Super Bowl. This pandemic scare, plague scare, what a wonderful opportunity for the powers that should not be to have a false flag opportunity with purposely and I say this as a veteran who was given experimental inoculation for the government or the powers not to be or are there to release a plague as a false flag. This is the vision that I had last night that hit me to the point of I almost was in tears, because when I get my visions, it is like a movie is played inside my head, and it just expanded from there. And like I said, I am not trying to put anybody into the state of fear, but during the third quarter of the Super Bowl tomorrow, between the third and fourth quarter, I feel, and I could be wrong, and I'm okay to be wrong. I have no problem with admitting when I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to share this with people to put it out there for posterity. Okay. But during the third quarter of the Super Bowl tomorrow, into the fourth quarter, I believe something is going to occur, and possibly at the very end of the Super Bowl outside of the stadium. And I hope, I'd love to be wrong.
Yeah.
I'd love to be wrong.
Okay. Well,
so
we'll leave that to the hands of fate. I appreciate that, but we'll leave that up to the hands of the divine powers that be, I guess. I certainly hope you're wrong, and I'm not really comfortable with that kind of stuff on the show, because it's and I appreciate what you're saying, and I'm not chastising you at all, but I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, there's, even if that is the case, I sure hope it's not, and I always like to keep things as positive as possible. So let's just hope you're wrong.
Well, please chastise me, Brent. We're close enough that, I love you no matter if we have differences. You know that, brother.
Well, no.
So
I'm not.
I
I'm not
apologize.
saying, I'm not ever censoring my calls at all. And I'm just speaking aloud. It's just like, I don't want to give that any more energy, even if that is what will transpire. I don't even want to put my head there. You know what I mean? It's such a dark and horrible thing. And I never want that to be, the tone of the show, but it's, right, well, I'm not chastising what you're saying, and I'm not doubting, the potential of that vision. I know that many, many creepy things have happened in the history of the world, of civilizations, of, governments, and this certainly could be another. I'm not saying that it couldn't be possible. I don't even like to think about those kind of things, just because of the, at some point, and to me, it's because I worked for so many years with in darkness, in a dark and tragic place, and so I just try to keep things as light and happy as I can, because it's kind of, after you work in those places and you have to do those kind of jobs, it's like a stain on your soul, and you never get rid of it. And so, you know what I mean? So, I mean, please forgive me. I love that you chose to share that here, but it's just, those are my reflections on it. I don't want to give it any more energy than that. And, I guess time will tell.
Well, with that being said, do we have the ability to manipulate fields to make sure that doesn't happen? Absolutely. Yeah. The magic of the PPP is so incredible when we focus our intentions, and we can cause happiness and joy tomorrow when we intentionalize it, when we bring it into fruition. We are that miraculous.
Yep. Just
so yes, Brent.
Project light
focus
on it.
On
everybody.
The positivity. Yes.
Absolutely, brother. Everybody just think happy thoughts and send light and love and hope everything works out okay, and that it's just a wonderful celebration of our wonderful nation, and nations around the world, of course. So, but thank you so much for calling in, brother. It's always great to hear from you. I love you, and so we will definitely be talking, though.
Absolutely, I love you guys. Ape gish b'mad ziwe women. Toodles.
All right, see you, brother.
See ya.
Okay.
Another quick interesting thing about tomorrow. Tomorrow's date is 02/02/2020.
Wow. That's a lot of
That's a lot of twos and zeros.
it is. It definitely is. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to about wrap up our show tonight. So I do love you all. I hope that I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you've enjoyed this journey through the portal. And remember, Paisley Wild's coming up next. The Spaces Between. Catch her either on tfrlive.com or on her YouTube channel, the youtube.com, The Spaces Between. And then check out the Duke on tfrlive.com. Get a chat name, hang out in the chat room, listen to the shows. And you can check out Duke's channel as well. He's on YouTube. He's not streaming live, however, but you can check out his amazing body of work over on YouTube at youtube.com/World Bigfoot Radio.
And a quick shout out to Brian Gaska and Elaine for your donations today. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for helping out. It goes a long way for us. So we will, I guess I'll be back tomorrow night. And we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. Good night, everybody.